Do 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 do. All right. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. Okay, so we got Jet, we got Colaru, and Aralu, Colaru, Melvin, Aralu, James, Jet. And I don't think... Yeah, the bans don't apply in the free-for-all. So... that'll be useful. We'll see some skunks and pigeons out. Okay, so we got Jet repping Team Owl, Aralu repping Team Wolf, Melvin for Team Badger, and who's last? Because one player has to sit out and it's random. Colaru won't take part in game 1 because he won the last game. Okay. So it should be James we're waiting for, repping Team Boar. Alright, we should be good to go. Hopefully the connection will hold. Alright, here we go. Jet immediately going for defensive structures. Melvin basically running what he'd run in single player. Or, I mean, standard ranked. A lot of balloons coming out. Anyway, sorry for the delay. I had to completely restart everything. I couldn't even get into Task Manager. It was bad. Oh, and we've got another spawn. Another next door neighbor spawn. This is... Hang on. I'm pretty sure we had this exact setup last week, where we had 2 people right next to each other, one over in the corner, and then one up by themselves. I'm pretty sure this exact map has been used. Alright, so Jet and James aren't gonna win. If I was one of them, I would probably tab out and start messaging the other in Discord saying, "Do you want to ally up?" Okay, now Jet does have the barbed wire to help him out. with the early defense. Meanwhile, Melvin and Arulu are probably really happy to see this, because now they can just focus on ecoing up. If I was Jet, I'd be tempted to go straight for an artillery cannon. But it's going to be risky. Especially with moles. You need more barbed wire up. Because Jet is struggling to get barbed wire up on this hill. Right, here come the moles. James manages to get away with all his squirrels, actually. But they were very injured, so when they come in for the second attack, Jet takes a big win and manages to take a pig down. And that is a major disadvantage. James is now really hoping that someone comes in to save him. But it doesn't look likely. Arulu is just taking multiple mills. Is he going to try and put a balloon down here to snipe at Jet's pigs? Just to be a complete dickhead? It looks like what he's doing. I mean, there's no way Jet sees this, right? Oh, no, he does. Well done, Jet. Very on the ball. Meanwhile, Melvin's just going up to 12 farms. James trying to get back up to 4. But as soon as he gets up to 4, he goes down to 3. And he might be going further because he's got no squirrels out anymore and he's completely supply blocked. He has to sell the moles. And Jet can now start selling his barbed wire. Oh, this is looking bad for James. I don't think he can come back from this. Not unless someone comes to mess with Jet. The balloons are up for Arulu. But I don't think they can really reach over to Jet. Jet has taken down James's farms and his warrens. So, I mean, pros for Jet. Now he gets an extra mill. That is something. But Melvin Fro is already going for his tier 3. So is Arulu. Arulu has no units. He has 2 balloons and a wolf warren. Jet could honestly just push. But there's no way Jet knows this. And honestly, with only 6 squirrels, the pigs might be enough to hold him back. I'm guessing this farm here is one that Arulu caused. Okay, so Melvin behind on the tier 3 because he went super hard on economy, going up to 3 fully saturated bases. I seriously want to go back and check last week's free-for-all, because I don't think it was... Like, I think this map is just incredibly similar. Alright, so Arulu's got his wolf out. He's going to quickly catch up to Melvin's economy. Who has scouted what? Arulu hasn't really scouted much of Melvin. Melvin has scouted enough of Arulu. He knows the tier 3 and the 3 mills. Jet hasn't scouted any of Melvin. And enough of Arulu to know that he's really far behind. I mean, he can get up to 3 mills here. He can take this mill. He's got this mill, which Still has most of its food on it. Oh, but it looks like Aralu's just going to come in and kill Jet. Jet currently has no units. He only has this 11-piece barbed wire wall. So Aralu isn't actually even going to lose much doing this. He might not lose anything. Is this Chameleon? No. Aralu saves the Chameleon. Oh, he doesn't save that one? Yeah, no, he does. He does. So Aralu lost maybe a couple of squirrels there. Melvin is now looking at coming in. Though he knows that Aralu's army has taken some damage from the barbed wire. He does have the army advantage. He's moving in now. And Aralu is trapped here. Getting some decent damage done with the skunks, but the wolf is caught out and there's nowhere for Aralu to run to. And now Aralu doesn't have time to really rebuild his army. This is looking like a win for Team Badger. I'm curious to see what gets banned, because it turned out, I mean, I would imagine snakes, but they didn't actually end up being that big a hurdle for us in the first week, due to the lack of skunks to cover their weaknesses. But Melvin takes it. Team Badger goes up 1. And now Melvin will swap out for Coloru. Alright. Hopefully this map will be better. Now, I know if Jet wins, he wants to ban Falcons. I imagine Boar will probably ban Skunk again. Will Coloru ban the same units? Will he ban Pigeons again? I really hope he doesn't. And I have no idea what Aralu would ban. What helps Team Wolf? Like, Wolf is such a generalist unit. Maybe lizards? Or, I mean, what do they need to lose? They need the boars and the owls to lose. So they might pick something that will hinder them. But what would that be? Maybe just ban squirrels? Alright. Okay, so the map has spawned properly this time, with each player in their own corner. Squirrel, skunk, snake, owl, machine gun, arty for Jet, squirrel, pigeon, falcon, skunk, cam, wolf for Aralu, squirrel, falcon, skunk, fox, balloon, artillery for Coloru, and squirrel, lizard, mole, badger, boar, artillery for James. 3 out of 4 players are running artillery. That is a rare sight. Okay, we want Boar and Owl dead. Wolves want Fox and Badger dead. So they might ban... Anyone that wants Team Badger to die might ban Pigeons, unfortunately. I think I'm kind of rooting for Jet to ban Falcons, honestly. No Falcons is going to make the Badger a lot stronger. Especially if Snakes got banned by Melvin. Okay. seeing some expansions come out. Some players thinking, ooh, Melvin's coming in with a couple of lizards. He's going to pick off a farm here because Araloo isn't there to micro. Oh, maybe he's not. No, the squirrels come up just in time. Kolaroo being the greedy guts here. Going for an expansion with 2 farms on it. No one else expanding. I'm sure someone else was expanding. They must have sold. Jet is expanding now. I have to see what he puts on it. Map-wise, it's a good map for Kolaroo because he's on a high ground with 2 close mills. A good map for Jet because he's on a high ground with 2 close mills. It's not so good for James because he's got 2 close mills, but the mill is on the low ground, and this mill is very susceptible to Fox Artie. Also, he's getting rushed down by Araloo, who's after some revenge, when James doesn't have enough. James is trying to go for tier 2, so he doesn't really have enough army to hold this off. As well as the fact that his tier 2 is Falcon, which doesn't really handle mass squirrel well. So James loses a couple of farms there. Now, this is a free-for-all, so comebacks are much more possible. There's a much greater possibility, but not if you do stuff like this and get your Falcons caught out. You've got to avoid poking the bear when you're behind. Okay, Jet looks like he isn't going to push on James, even though he could probably take him. But Defender's Advantage is a tricky thing. Araloo has slammed down his Fox. We never got onto the map for Araloo. I'm going to say that it's probably alright. Not having any defensive not having the artillery means he's probably going to get shut out, though. If an artillery comes down somewhere along here for Kolaroo, or somewhere along here for James, for Jet, then Araloo could get really forced off these 2 mills. But broadly speaking, everyone has 3 mills to work with. Araloo is coming in on Jet. Kolaroo is in a great spot right now. He's just being left alone. Jet is getting attacked from 2 sides. Losing multiple farms. Even going to lose this mill because now the Artie can reach over there. Araloo and James both decided that they really want Falcons to not be banned. So they've teamed up on Jet. I mean, that's a disadvantage to saying what unit you're going to ban. Wolf really likes synergizing with Falcons, and Boar really likes synergizing with Falcons, so yeah, it makes sense that they'd just want to guarantee that Jet doesn't win. Okay, and we got a couple of arties coming up, but oh, James is going to snipe it. But speaking of snipes, here comes the Fox. Okay, James has his own ball down, but he's getting attacked as well. He needs to defend these farms. He needs to defend the Warren. It looks like he... Oh, no, he sells it. I think he could have defended that, but maybe he just wanted the food because the Fox is coming in. The Fox walks right up to that arty and just does not care. And James is in a bad spot here. The arty is doing mill damage, but Kolaroo's gonna be fine. Kolaroo has a whole other mill with 6 farms on it. And James is soon to be dead. Jet is actually starting to recover. He's got actually a respectable economy. So maybe the alliance between Araloo and James was not a thing. Maybe they just both happened to... It was an alliance of opportunity, if anything. James just saw an opportunity to jump in. Okay, and we've got our 4th artillery coming down on the map. It's looking really hard to beat Kolaroo, though, from this position. He's just so far ahead in army. And decently ahead in eco. Now James is going to lose his only farming mill. And once this mill goes up, Kolaroo can start arty creeping to get rid of this mill as well. Now No one has managed to get their tier 3s up yet, apart from Coloru. James is just suiciding onto Jet. And again, Araloo is attacking. So maybe there is something going on. Maybe it's one of those like half alliances where you say, Coloru playing that so ballsy, going into arty range to sniper pig and coming out unscathed. Okay, James is starving. I think James is probably another player people don't want to win. They probably don't want another skunk ban. If Jet Erickson can stabilize, which is looking like he has, if he can get an owl out, then he's suddenly got a much better chance of coming back into this game. Coloru does have Skunk Falcon, but the arties... Well, I mean, Coloru is going to have more mills to work with, and Skunk Falcon, and the artillery balloon. But Jet's still going to be in with a shot if he can get owls out. Owls can make some crazy stuff happen. And James isn't starving somehow. He's got a farm down on this, and he's just trying to be annoying and use moles to get something done. Is Araloo going to notice? He should. Oh, and this mill is not long for this world. Coloru has moved in on his 19 farm base. It's not looking good for King James. And there he goes. Now, Araloo could come in over here and get a lot of damage done, get a lot of warrens, and tie him 2 mills, one of which still has farms on it, but that leaves him completely open. He's all in on this base. He needs to push Jet off so he can take this base. But that's not really how he wants to be fighting this in the grand scheme of things, because that just means Coloru's got an easier and easier time to get further and further ahead. Like, when you're both behind, you don't want to be fighting each other. But Jet and Araloo don't really have a choice anymore. They can't expand without fighting each other. Maybe there is an Araloo-Coloru alliance, because Araloo is between Jet and Coloru. It doesn't make sense that Coloru's not attacking Araloo at all, or that he's building his structures so far back so that they won't hit Araloo. And Araloo does have this easy way into Coloru's base that Coloru doesn't seem remotely concerned about. I'm thinking there was some diplomacy done, but diplomacy's allowed. Diplomacy's part of the game. So, are we going to get pigeons banned again? Or is it going to be skunks? I think the fox would benefit more from the skunk ban, but their enemies would hurt more from the pigeon ban, so who knows? Jet doing his best to hold on. But Araloo just has so many falcons. And as soon as he goes one way, someone comes in the other. And I mean, theoretically with infinite time and mills, Jet could come back. But we're starting to use up every possible farm on the map. Like, this is the last naked mill, the last untouched mill, and it's now got farms on it. Like, there's not much longer this game can physically go on. And it looks like Jet isn't going to be long for this world. He's not lost his owl. I thought he was going to. He tanks with it perfectly. Well, nearly perfectly. Could have tanked 2 more damage, but we won't hold that against him. He lost his mill though. He's not in starvation because he's got this farm and a couple other farms on this mill that he can take. But here comes another wave of falcons, even larger than the first. And so much of Jet's army is ground-based. The owls, the skunks and the arty can't do anything against all these falcons. Poor Jet. This is maybe a little bit harsh even for him. There goes Jet, and I'm guessing Aralu's probably going to instantly surrender. No, he's actually going to pretend to fight, but it's not even close. Look at this army graph. Kolaru completely mined out about 5 bases in that game. And he never got attacked. Just such an overwhelming force. But that was a rough 2 games for Jet. First he spawns direct, like, within shooting distance of someone. And then the second game, 2 players getting up on him. I mean, if anyone deserves it, it's him, but maybe even he doesn't deserve that. Possibly. Now, are we going to do Marmu and Legoman? So what do we think they're going to ban? Like, Snake is the obvious ban for badgers. But maybe they'll want something else. I haven't put much thought into it. Like, badgers need to beat owls and boars. It might be worth banning falcons more than it is to ban snakes. Ban tier 1 could also be useful. I think banning lizards wouldn't be without merit. Kolaru has banned barbed wire. That makes sense from a fox player's perspective. It's going to make holding off the mole pushers even harder though. Fucking hell. What's Melvin picking? Melvin banned moles. Okay. No barbed wire, no moles. I'm actually looking forward to this. We got our pigeons back. We're going to have to deal with Falcon Snake. But... man, if I could play multiple tier 3s, I would love this. So, no mole pushes. That's gonna really change things. Well, it's banning the two most OP units, but it's also banning the units that counter each other. So... anyway, I need to get this up. Now, unfortunately, we're still doing the skunk pigeon ban for this game. And they're actually on the right side this time. So this will be the last game of the night. Alright, we got Squirrel Mole, Falcon Cam, Boar, Barbed Wire against Squirrel, Falcon, Cam Snake, Wolf Balloon. Marmu taking both of the soon-to-be banned units. You know, Mole ban probably does help Badger a lot, because it makes earlier tier 3 rushes possible. And Badger is one of the tier 3s that benefits most from an early tier 3, from coming out earlier. I think maybe only Fox benefits more. But man, a week without moles. And the barbed wire ban makes a lot of sense from the Fox player, because one piece of barbed wire can really just upset the Fox, like when it's trying to do its run around. Also, it's just an effective unit apart from that. In the rest of the game, when you're trying to push without the tier 3, it can really get in the way, and it makes other defenses a lot more viable. But let's talk about this game. Both players just expanding. Building squirrels and taking their second mill. Map is probably in Lego's favour. Definitely in Lego's favour. Marmu has this stripe of mills here, but Lego has basically everything else. He's got a stripe of 3 here. He can take this one, he can take this cabin, he can take this cabin. Um, and even this mill, which is probably never going to get taken by anyone, is easier for Legoman to take than for Marmu. Oh my god, and you know what's great? You're not going to have to worry about, like, early mole pushes, like sneaky moles picking off your farms. Oh, that'll be nice. Although, you won't have the quick moles to come out and defend against the lizard rush either, so maybe aggression would actually become more viable without the moles. Maybe we'll see more 5-farm double lizard warrens and stuff like that. I don't know. I'd genuinely be interested to see how the game's meta shaped up if you kept moles out of it for like a month. Because we only get to do it over a week, and we only get to do it in a select few games of that week. So we don't have a lot of time for the meta to really evolve. And I'd be curious how these changes would affect the game, you know, if they continued on for longer. Okay. I mean, both players playing this pretty evenly. Marm going for Falcons rather than extra Chameleons, but both players doing pretty much the same as each other. Legoman having a nice balloon to defend him. It's going to be kind of difficult for Marmu to get on that. A cliff makes it a bit trickier, but not too much. And, oh, Marmu's going to try and do some Chameleon harassment. Okay, here he comes. How many is he going to get? That's one. Legoman can't burrow back because he's being shot at. So that's one, that's two. It's going to go for four. You're going to go for five? At this point, maybe just suicide them for extra mills? Okay, no, he's trying to save them. Legoman's going to probably try and decloak them. He's standing still. He's got the true vision. He picks off both. But, I mean, that's still a good trade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 farms for 120 food. Even though some of those farms didn't have a lot of food left on them, and we're going to fallow soon, it's still a big deal. Okay, I think the overlay is a bit off center. I think that's as best as I can do. It's weird. It doesn't like being moved everywhere. Alright, Falcons are... A lot of Falcons up for Marmu. Legoman going for a wolf. The economy advantage isn't that ridiculous, considering how many farms he got. But enough about that, because Marmu's come in, he's fighting under the balloon, and the longer this fight goes on means the more and more value this balloon is going to rack up. Every shot it takes is a death. Kills is one shot, one kill. And the Falcons, I'm pretty sure the Falcons get one shot. I mean, either way, the Falcons aren't great against Legoman's army, because he's got so much tier 1. The tier 1 mob with the balloons means that Marmu should probably be going for either moles or chameleons. I know that sounds weird to say, but he needs things to tank. He needs things to tank all this tier 1 and all this balloon damage. He might even consider going for a boar now. He's got the money for it. At the moment he's just floating food. He probably wants to put it back. Yeah, he wants to put it in a safer place, but I think he probably would be better off just putting it down there, because he can't stop Legoman from scouting this. If it's over here or over in this corner, his army's there, so Legoman's going to struggle. Legoman could probably still get in, but you know, there's a chance Legoman dies before he gets to scout it. Okay, so the wolf is coming out first by a large margin. Legoman is actually ahead now. Despite Marmu's earlier cam pick-off, the combination of losing the chameleons, these farms having low value on them, and Marmu losing that fight, means that Legoman has actually come back ahead. But not by a large amount. At least not in terms of army. He's getting pretty far ahead on income, and Marmu's doing his best to keep up. Alright, here he comes. Here comes the fight. That's one dead pig, that's two dead pigs. We've got the machine gun snakes. Oh, but Legoman gets obliterated in that fight. Marmu's going to come in and probably lose his commander. His army should be able to micro without him. Well, not micro, but there's a limit to how much micro you need when you're this overwhelming in force. The only problem Marmu's got now is that he can't hit the wolf. The wolf is safe, but a decent chunk of economy gets lost. And Marmu's coming back in. He's going for the wolf this time, but there are chameleons on the front line, and wolf buff chameleons are insanely tough. Ah, but here comes the boar. Alright, that attack evened out things a lot. If Marmu had been able to get the boar, he'd probably be in a winning spot now, but he wasn't quite able to make it. Alright, Marmu's trying to push in while he's gone hard on farms, but he does have a good boar, a good composition, I think. The boar just chews through Legoman's tier 1. The snakes get eaten up by the squirrels. Marmu's just going to commit this boar now to getting rid of this mill, as well as whatever other units get caught in the blast. And now that's 2 dead mills. I think Marmu's making a mistake going for the wolf here. He should just focus on this mill. If he killed the mill, then Legoman would have no eco. I mean, it's possible he doesn't know that. And it's likely that he wins anyway, but I think this is giving Legoman a chance to come back into this. Although, chances are pretty slim when you're down by 5 farms. And now the wolf is all by itself, it has nothing left to buff. And Marmu takes game 1. Positioning was better for Marmu there as well. The boar basically filled that entire corridor with fire. Legoman's army was just clumped up inside it, all taking damage at the same time. It's possible to beat boar sometimes just by having your army like really spread out. You can completely negate its effectiveness, but that's a lot harder to do than it sounds in Tooth and Tail. Alright, Squirrel, Mole, Falcon, Cam, Boar, Wire against Squirrel, Falcon, Cam, Snake, Wolf, Balloon. Yeah, I don't see what Legoman was doing in here when he... I didn't see what he was doing instead of moving his army around, but it definitely was not in the best position. It was in quite a bad position. Do people in America say that? Do they use not the best to mean the worst? Or is that just a British thing? Okay, Legoman taking the first expansion. We're getting a bit of lag, unfortunately. I don't know whose part that is. Hopefully not mine. Let's just get rid of this. And get rid of that. Okay, Legoman going for his snakes. He's going to be the first tier 2 hitting the board. Map-wise, pretty good for Marmot. Ooh, Marmot doing a mole push. He's got good timing here with the tier 2 coming out. And snakes aren't great at fighting off Squirrel Mole. At least I don't think they are. Ooh, Legoman sells the moles. Sells the snakes. He knows that not going to be able to hold. Marmu needs to make sure his commander doesn't die. He should be fine though. He's got 2 Warrens already. He's going to have to retreat. Is he not going to sell the Mole Warren? He is, but he should have done it sooner. Like, him loitering around that Mole Warren, umming and ahhing on whether or not to sell it, meant that he lost more squirrels than he had to because of the delayed retreat. Alright. Legoman trying to come in. But the defender's advantage is working well for Marmu. Mill tanked a bit of damage, plus quick reinforcements, plus Legoman trying to go for snakes and an extra farm meant that he was behind an army. But he does have a snake out now. Now, snake isn't great against mass tier 1, but if you've also got mass tier 1, then it can give you an edge. But Legoman needs to wait to build up his squirrel count, if that's what he's going for. Legoman destroying all of this barbed wire. Does one poison shot destroy 1 barbed wire? I guess we'll never know, because Legoman walks in and does it anyway. Okay, Legoman has the higher army advantage here, and the better eco. If he can keep these snakes alive... Oh, this is a good time for him to turn around. There's no commander from army, but he does have the numbers advantage. Legoman is keeping these snakes healthy. Well, somewhat. He's keeping them alive. Healthy might be a bit much. But they do heal up very quickly when in friendly territory. And they actually are going to end this fight on more health than when they started. Like, that snake healing is insane. No, but it looks like the snake gets caught out there. But focusing fire on the snake for a while does give the other squirrels a chance to get some work done. And with this one poison tag, the pig is going to go down. Mamu is supply blocked on squirrels, so is Legoman, but Legoman has more out at the moment. And he has a better economy. Only by one farm, but that's a lot in this type of situation. I imagine he's going to go back and sell the snakes. He does like snakes, so maybe he'll sell the squirrels instead. He does. Legoman really likes running snakes. Okay. Legoman currently at double Mamu's economy. And Mamu losing an extra squirrel to that cabin. Bit of a miss micro there. Like, 20 food is a lot when you've only got 2 farms. Alright, here comes the fight, and Mamu can't reinforce at all. Legoman can reinforce somewhat, and Legoman's going to take it. 1-1. Alright. Squirrel Mole, Falcon Cam, Boar Wire against Squirrel Mole, Falcon Cam, Snake Wolf. We've got an early mole going down. Mamu is selling both of his farms. I think Legoman's probably going to sell this mole. Mamu has a warren up. It's building a squirrel. He could try and wait it out, but I don't think it's a good idea. Okay. So, I mean, he was up a farm that entire time, so he got slightly ahead. His 6th farm is going to be built slightly faster than Mamu's 6th farm, but Mamu's going to get his 8th farm at, the same time, so it doesn't really matter. In fact, the 8th farm is actually going to come out slightly faster for Mamu. You're the bad guy because you win, Aralu. If you stop winning, you won't be the bad guy anymore. Or at the very least, you've got to win while not playing meta. Okay, Mamu wiring up. Slightly behind on tier 2, but slightly ahead on eco. Is he going to put a tier 2 down? He's actually getting quite far behind on tier 2. Oh, this is... I thought Legoman was going to come this way, but actually he's just going to poke at this woman from across the hill. Forces a sell by Mamu. This pig is out of range. I mean, both players know about this back path, and okay, Mamu does board it up. Alright, we got a tier 3 on the board. We got 2 tier 3s on the board. Okay, map-wise, we're starting to look at for third mills. Mamu's got an easy one. Legoman's got an easy one. Fourth mills, same deal applies. Mamu's is Legoman's is very easy. Just take these two. Mamu's is a little trickier. He has to move out here, but it's still pretty defendable, especially with barbed wire and a large army. This mill is never going to get taken. I mean, okay, theoretically, Mamu could completely farm out these 2 bases and have moved his stuff over here to these 2 bases, which gives Legoman space to reclaim this mill. But realistically, that's not going to happen. Oh, that snake getting away with 1 HP. I'm drinking tea, but it's very hot. Hey, Lucas. I got good news and bad news. The good news is skunks are back on the menu. The bad news is moles got taken off. Darling tea or regular tea? British tea. I think it's Waitrose Golden. Okay, Mamu coming in. Both players have their tier 3s out. Good pick off on that snake. It's going to give Mamu an advantage. He's burrowing his boar in. The chameleon is just tanking through these squirrels. This is looking good for Mamu. The boar finally goes down, but it did its job. It tanked for so much. And all of these units are pretty weak for Legoman, but Legoman just can't get up enough units to actually kill them. The mill goes down between the falcons and the mole crit very quickly. Legoman's down to 2 farms, which are going to fallow out in less than a minute. And this is looking like game 3 goes to Mamu. Why does Mamu look so creepy? Because that's his icon. That's what he picked. And it messes with Archimedes' face weird. Okay. Mamu only needs 1 more point. Squirrel, mole, falcon, cam, boar, wire against squirrel, lizard, mole, falcon, snake, wolf. Now, Okay, Lego Man, this base is actually safe for him, but it's hard for him to get a third. Marmu can easily push out here or here, so this is definitely a Marmu favoured map. Oh, Lego Man is possibly going to get a farm though here, unless Marmu sells it. Oh no, the pig comes up. This is a mistake, Lego Man. Don't commit. Oh, ho, ho, and the commander goes down as well. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, that's a loss for Lego Man. Like, the second mole could have come in and could have killed that. It would have just needed one tap. But there was no commander to tell it to move 2 feet to the right. He did get 2 barbed wire, so, you know, he got something. And Lego Man is on 8 farms ahead of Marmu. So, it's not disastrous, but it's not great. And that just, I don't know, it just felt painful to watch. I had a sympathy wince. Okay. Now, Lego Man does have this cabin to give him some protection, but cabins don't do much against the mole push, so... This is a really rough map for Lego Man. I mean, 2 bases you can make some stuff happen though, so... And he might be able to take this one. If he can secure this campfire area, then he can take this base and this further back campfire. And that should be somewhat difficult for Marmu to, you know, really put pressure on. What is it, Lucas? I'm not going to be streaming after, if that's what the question is. And I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow. I'm not streaming for the rest of the week, because I need to work. And that includes Friday. Oh, Jesus. Lego Man getting caught out in the retreat. He's got the Squirrel Lizard comp, so he's going to trade respectably. But can he hold on to this forward campfire? He's got forward mills here as well. He needs to hold on here. If he doesn't make this, then he can just get snowballed. It's not looking good. Marmu takes a campfire. And now he's got a higher squirrel number on the high ground, shooting down at these warrens. This is looking really bad for Lego Man. He's lost so many warrens. He's about to start losing farms. Oh, the commander goes down for Marmu. Is that going to give Lego Man a chance? He's still losing 2 farms. But there were a couple of squirrels who were just stuck on this hill shooting at this warren. So, Lego Man is alive for now. But Marmu has 18 squirrels to come in. He can double Lego Man's army. Jesus Christ, how many of these do I have to ban? That's the 3rd one in like 30 minutes while we've been doing this series. Okay, Lego Man is still alive. He lost another farm though, and Marmu picked up the campfire that Lego Man used to own. Just to, you know, add insult to injury. Lego Man doesn't have any barbed wire to, you know, turtle up with. And Marmu is putting down moles. And Lego Man just says, you know what? I'm not going to do this to myself. And surrenders. Which I can't fault him too much for. Okay, so that's a 3-1 for Legoman. For Marmu, sorry. Team Boar taking a win over Team Wolf. Now, I don't know how many other games we've got to do. None tonight, but overall, I think there are still some games left for this week. I don't think Mochaccino and Jacoby played. They were supposed to play last night. But I think I'm going to have to wrap it up here. I've not played my games against Roman. But that's not for lack of trying, he just never turned up. So I'm assuming that means that I automatically defend. You know, if the attacker never attacks, then hey, how can they win? Alright. So, yeah. I don't think there's another place I can send you. There's not a stream currently going on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to just end the stream here. I apologise for the delays and the lag occurred. I'm sorry that I won't see you for the rest of the week, but I really need to finish this dissertation off. And I, for some reason, work hardest during the evening, so I need those free. Alright. I believe that covers everything. I will see you maybe next Monday, maybe over the weekend, or maybe on someone else's stream. Have a good night. Toodles.